It's pretty handy being able to see through things, isn't it?
Augie also sees that my tummy is empty and needs some ice cream.
Nice try.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Willy St. Willy channel once again. And today we're here to talk about our not so favorite children's television show. Caillou, I'm Caillou. I can't even pretend to like Caillou. I hate the little snot-nosed brat. Like my Max and Ruby video, I'm here to talk about a seemingly innocent YouTube poop series with some memes, some goofs, some laughs, some gaffs, with a hidden horror alternate universe story just lurking beneath the... Yes, the creator of the Marks and Rhubarb YouTube poop series, Rinse Cycle 2, also made a Caillou Horror YouTube poop series that I'm going to be discussing today. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the Marks and Rhubarb video, go check that one out. It was pretty funny. Unfortunately, today though, Rinse Cycle just had to make his little series on my least favorite kids show, Caillou. Caillou's a kid show from the 90s, and if you haven't seen it, it follows a pretty normal kid show setup following the misadventures of a worthless, pathetic preschooler named Caillou, who is the whiniest little brat I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I cannot describe in words how much I hate Caillou. This show sucks. It's terrible, okay? I want to take Caillou and put him in a little pillowcase and him around and then bash his head against a like that's how bad I hate Caillou. Like, you don't understand. In the show, he gets away with everything. He's whiny. He doesn't appreciate anything. His parents just let him do whatever he wants. The sister isn't much better, but I need to calm down. I don't want to get too carried away here. Honestly, the funniest thing about Caillou isn't even the show itself. It's the crazy internet theory that people made describing how he has cancer and that's why he's bald and he's either dead or is already dying and most of the show's in his head. And honestly, if Caillou did have leukemia or something, I would respect him a lot more, but he doesn't. Apparently the reason Caillou is bald is because of a design choice. It just makes him stand out more, which is about a mundane and uninteresting reason as that cue ball himself. So, yeah. And because of my hatred for this little boy, you don't seem to understand the sheer joy I'm going to experience seeing Rinse Cycle turn him into this unrecognizable Lovecraftian YouTube poop monster. It's going to be so awesome. Enough dilly-dallying though. Without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1, Caillou's Public Execution. Not for kids. Loud! So like the Marks and Rhubarb series, initially it opens with just strictly comedy, just super chaotic, super YouTube poop-esque. You have Caillou choking on a piece of pizza. You have them going to the park so Caillou can learn how to use a crosswalk. The sister turns into Rosie O'Donnell. The mom streaks in the park. The dad cheats on the mom in broad daylight. Classic YouTube poop activities. However, things take a turn rather quickly. You see, Caillou has poor eyesight. He needs to go to the optometrist and do an eye test to see if he needs glasses. And turns out, lo and behold, he does. Oh, and a side note, the dad shows back up with a soccer ball and he completely punts Caillou in the face with it.
Caillou! Look what I got for you!
Let's see that again. One more time. You see, due to Caillou's poor eyesight, he's been unable to view the world for how it really is. And when he puts on his spectacles for the first time, he gets a glimpse into the true nature of his world.
Look, I'm like...
You see, this reads almost as if Caillou's trapped in a nightmare, with the parents being these walking corpses and his sister being Rosie O'Donnell that morphs into a Lovecraftian elder thing monster as the world slowly peels and crumbles around him. It reads as like a weird nightmare sequence in a movie. And this is where the first glimpse into the horror AU nature of this really shows. And that brings us to episode 2, Caillou's Excommunication. Rated R. So episode 2 picks right back where episode 1 leaves off, and basically Caillou is having a full-blown panic attack at this point, and he locks himself in his room, destroys the glasses, and gets a loaded gun in order to defend himself from his parents, who are slowly inching their way up the stairs like they're damn Nosferatu, being real particular with each one of their steps. The horror elements of this are just so good. Like, this does exaggerated, uncanny faces and tension better than many analog horror series I've seen, and this is a damn YouTube poop. It's awesome. So when Caillou's parents eventually get to his door, Caillou just unloads on the mom and kills her and slams the door in the dad's face as he falls down the stairs. And then we see this weird demon mimic of Caillou that skitters on top of the ceiling and then eats Caillou. Like, he drags him under his bed and then eats Caillou. My theory so far is, you'll get to see this in a minute, is that the mimic demon kills and replaces Caillou, because after this whole sequence, the episode kind of resets itself to the part 1 status quo of like a normal Caillou YouTube poop. It's really weird. Like, if you were to just skip the horror intro, you wouldn't even think twice about this YouTube poop. It's just the normal chaotic stuff again. Like, oh, Caillou goes rock climbing, then he falls. Haha, the mom's taking a shit. All the kids are doing coke during arts and crafts and go crazy. Fun times. However, we get a little immersion break. The optometrist, the eye doctor from the first episode, makes a reappearance across the street of the daycare.
Will you hurry the
Shit.
This all comes to a head when the mom is driving Caillou back home, and they start talking about Aggie the owl, which is this character, I guess, within Caillou that has X-ray vision. It can see through things. And they start making jokes about, oh, it's nice to be able to see through things, right, Caillou? And then everything, the shoe just drops, and Caillou has a lamprey demon mouth again and starts attacking the mom as she's driving home. And as she's desperately trying to fight off this demon Caillou, it reveals back at the house where the sister is already dead. The demon lamprey mouth Caillou has already killed the sister. And then he proceeds to kill the mom as they get in a car wreck. And apparently the dad was driving behind them because he runs up on the scene as Caillou is feasting on the mom. And instead of being shocked by this, he just celebrates and races back in his car back to the school to try to hook up with a teacher. He's just like, he's been waiting for this. My man is starving. He's been wanting some puss, okay? However, no hanky-panky goes on as Caillou turns into a giant kaiju monster and starts attacking the town and kills the teacher and presumably the dad as well. It's super insane how the episode just ends like this. Episode 3, Caillou's Favorite Ritual, also rated R. Okay, so I think my theory of Caillou being replaced by this demon eldritch monster thing is maybe has some merit to it, because the opening sequence of this is probably the funniest shit I've ever seen in a YouTube poop in my entire life. It's awesome. It's awesome. So it starts back up right where episode 2 left off, and the dad is having to defend himself against this Caillou kaiju, and he starts trying to throw his golf clubs at him as a military police copter shows up, and Caillou reverts back to a smaller skittering form so he can find his dad who's hiding. And I'm just gonna play this bathroom sequence because the bathroom sequence, this is hilarious, my lord.
Well, hello there. Haven't seen you in a while. You enjoying the fall? But tomorrow with the little guys, Mommy? I was going to say... You were the little guy. And me too.
So just when we think the dad is gonna be cornered, eaten by Caillou, Caillou slips on a swing and offs himself by being stabbed through the head with the Canadian flag. And then he gets ran over by Grandma and Grandpa who show up in their car. And then it cuts to the police searching the house with the body of the sister still being there. And just above Caillou's bed, there is a portal to hell that's open in this lamprey mouth, and out pops we assume to be the real Caillou, who we thought was murdered at the beginning of episode 2. And then it reverts back to a status quo setup with the dad burying the mom and the sister, and then Caillou's there, almost like he's back to his normal form. It's either the regular Caillou or the demon Caillou is pretending to be normal again. So yes, the status quo is back. It goes back to the normal over-the-top YouTube poop-ass jokes, and they go hang out with Grandpa at his sailboat, and all the while, I do notice a quick little flash of the eye test again, almost a reference, a callback to the eye doctor and the eye test, because that was when we first saw through the horrors of the world that they're in. Okay, one funny bit I thought they did with the whole funny humor segment is they have a bit where after they're sailing, the grandpa wants to go bowling and takes Caillou bowling, but he has dementia, so they're on a loop where they keep going bowling again for Caillou's first time over and over again. And just when you think the bit's over, they're back at the house, the dad's there, and he abandons Caillou, and the grandpa shows up to take care of him, and he's got to take him bowling. So anyway, while Grandpa is taking care of Caillou, it cuts back to the dad at a guitar store until he's abruptly murdered, he's straight up just executed with his throat slit. And when it cuts back to Caillou's house with the grandpa, Caillou wrote a poem for Grandpa, and apparently the poem starts morphing into the eye test from the eye doctor's office. And then this almost breaks the grandpa out of his dream state, and he basically falls through the back rooms into this hell world that has an army of several different Caillous in an audience stand that are watching him. And Caillou is now completely alone in the house. We start seeing cracks to show in this universe, this world he's in, until Caillou finds a logbook. Okay, so I thought was funny. I know he's just using characters from Caillou to put in this logbook collage. Some of those characters are definitely underage, okay? So some of those characters are probably teens in the Caillou universe, and I was just man, Caillou's dad is what, 40, 45, and he's hooking up with some of these 18 or 20-year-olds in the Caillou universe. My lord. It's just real life. It just reminded me because I had an ex-girlfriend of mine who definitely was just into older dudes, just based off her past exes before me. I'm pretty sure I was the youngest guy she dated, even though we're the same age, but the dude she dated after me was 15 years older than her. I thought I'm bro, that is just insane. That's crazy. wait, what am I talking about again? Oh yeah, Caillou. Let's go back to Caillou. Anyway, lo and behold, when Caillou is flipping through the book, he sees the eye doctor at the doctor's office with his dad And it implies that she's actually his mom, like his real mom. And he keeps flipping through the book and sees them living their life together, Caillou with hair for some reason, the entire town just hanging out with them and actually in bed with them in one of the frames. It was really weird. And then you have like a birthday card that I'm just gonna read off to you. I thought was really creepy, and depicts Caillou having multiple eyes, like he's some sort of like eldritch being. And it says, "To the great decider, your sight will restore soon, mother." Okay, Caillou has got to be some sort of Lovecraftian deity or god, and the town is all playing a part in keeping him satiated or at bay, almost like manipulating him. Also, for some reason, the mom buzzed Caillou's head. That's why he's bald. That's just a lore drop, okay? But let's finish this out. What else is this gonna tell me the last few minutes? My lord. Okay, yeah, this ending sequence, I'm just gonna let it play for you because this seems like just an A24 movie in the last few minutes by itself. Yeah.
Now, it's your turn to keep the track.
Yeah. Okay. In the last couple of minutes, what I could piece together is I'm assuming Caillou, or at least some part of Caillou, is in fact some sort of eldritch monster or deity who can bend reality and twist time, and the mom is like the central figure or ringleader in all of this. And there's multiple variations and timelines and versions of Caillou that basically get sacrificed or changed throughout, and all of the characters in this story are basically kind of like NPCs for the most part. But it seems that Grandpa and the mom and dad aren't really, but there's multiple versions of them. It must do the giant Wicker Man effigy of Caillou at the end. My lord, I am just overloaded with theories and information. This is almost too much, my lord. All right, so I'm gonna combine my earlier theories together into one. This is my theory. This is my final version. I think that Caillou's biological mother, the eye doctor, sacrificed Caillou to some sort of otherworldly being as part of this weird cult ritual. So now this god can possess and take the form of Caillou while he's essentially trapped almost like in this forever torture loop. And the dad and other mom are basically just kind of like just NPCs or pawns at this point, because there's almost this Donnie Darko version of time where there's multiple timelines that branch off from each other, and the grandpa is just like an unwilling participant in all this because he has dementia that I feel like is brought on by the mom, or the effects of this eldritch being that the mom worships. And I feel like what we saw at the end there was Caillou being sent once again in sacrifice to the guy, like the eldritch Cthulhu monster. That is my best guess at what the hell's going on. Now, I don't know if Rent Cycle intended for any of that to be taken away from this, or it was just random creepy stuff he threw at the screen. I'm not sure, but either way, Daddy likes. I love this. This is just, damn, analog horror series have so much to top now, because I have been seeing some good ass series just over the months of just looking at different random horror posts here and there. Rent Cycle is S tier. I'm gonna just go ahead and nominate him right now. He is a god level S tier in internet horror to me, because this YouTube poop series that are basically just horror AUs or analog horrors in disguise are amazing. Absolutely mind-blowing. I cannot praise them enough. Go follow them. I know they haven't posted in a while, but I don't care. Go follow them on Twitter or YouTube or whatever socials they have. Just go subscribe to them. Do it now. But there you have it, everyone. That is Rent Cycle's Caillou series. And for those of you who made it to the end, who watched the entire thing up to this point, thank you so much as always for watching and supporting me. Your support always means the world to me. Speaking of subscribing and liking and watching videos, you should probably do that to my channel. Also, I made an episode 2 of my fake true crime podcast that nobody watched, so you should probably go watch that too. I'll probably include it at the end of this one. So it's Poppy Playtime theme, so you might like that. But just in case I don't see you guys again, stay safe and have a good one. Goodbye. Still hate Caillou. I still hate that bald bitch.